Hello. I hope everybody had a good week. My week was really great. I got more sleep than I normally do. I only produced one video last week because I had a very large paper I had to write. But I didn't have any papers this week. I had other things, but no papers. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the episode, shall we? All right. Um, so we'll make the screen large. There we go. So, that looks different. Okay. I'm going to be trying to read on script because when I do that, I seem to be more organized. Though I should make a little, I should set my clock so that I know when 5 minutes is almost up. I can assume that it's been recording for, we'll find the mouse. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. Doesn't say how long it's been. I assume it's probably a minute at this point, maybe 30 seconds. Um, so, um, right. All right. So, I started my timer, and I'll just stop in 4 minutes exactly, or about. To better determine how the Israelites could have been in Egypt for 400 plus years, we're going to start with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, before turning to Egyptian history. Then we will examine first Joseph and later Levi in regards to chronology and generational details. As a fair warning, this will involve quite a few dates, which is not always appealing to many people, as well as different ages of Bible characters. Everybody's probably been in a history class where a lot of names and dates were mentioned at one time and not much else, and understandably that could bore some people. Up until a year ago, I had always concluded that the 400 years mentioned in Genesis 15:13 was figurative. While using the flashlight method, I ran into inconsistencies when calculating dates that ran on the idea that Israel could not have been in Egypt for 400 years. Once I started taking the 400 years literally, dates and times periods began to make more sense. According to Genesis 12:4, Abraham departed Haran when he was 75. He was in Egypt at the age of 75 due to famine during the reign of Mentuhotep II. Some interesting corroborating details is that Mentuhotep II was a ladies' man, and he certainly didn't believe in monogamy. This fits with him taking Sarai and wanting to make her his wife and entreating Abraham for Sarai's sake. Genesis 12:17, like Egyptian history, mentions that this pharaoh or king had several princes or sons. I'm still looking for information as to whether ancient Egyptian history records anything akin to plagues during this period. Of course, in regards to Abraham being in Egypt, the Bible records that the Lord plagued the house of Pharaoh. We do know that Mentuhotep II had some rare and bizarre health issues. 10 years passed, making Abraham 85. Genesis 16:3. Abraham marries Hagar at the prodding of Sarai. He would have been about 86 when Ishmael was born. So on the top right, top right, yes, you can see a picture of Mentuhotep II. He's got a tall white hat on. There at the bottom, you see another picture of a statue that looks like it might be somebody, a real person, maybe. In Genesis 15:13, God informs Abraham that his descendants would become strangers and slaves, afflicted 400 years in a land that was not theirs. In Genesis 17:19, Abraham was 99 years old when God reaffirmed the covenant. Abraham was 100 years old in Genesis 21:5 when Isaac was born. In Genesis 25:20, Isaac was 40 years old. Abraham would have been about 140 years old at this point. He would have been about 160 when Jacob was born. Since Abraham lived 175 years, Jacob would have been about 15 when Abraham died. Verse 26 of Genesis 25 tells us that Isaac was 60 when Jacob and Esau were born. In Genesis 47:28, Jacob is 147 at his death, and Joseph is 56